Life as a creator or entrepreneur can feel like a roller coaster. Our income, our workload, our physical and mental health, nothing we were ever taught in school helped prepare us for this life. But these 3 habits can take the dips out of this ride and keep our income growing. Here are a few things you can implement daily that allow you to protect your time, be intentional with how you use your time, and prioritize your health. All of these things allow you to use your time for high income activities, and your body and mind are in a state to perform at the highest level. Habit number 1, say no. Say no to everything that doesn't excite you. Say no to jobs that aren't providing the rate you want. Say no to clients or work that stresses you out. Last year, I made a really hard decision to downscale my video production company. When you get started in business, there's always this vision of a big company and even internal and external pressure to drive you toward that goal. I got sucked up in it. But what I realized was I didn't want a big business, and I did not enjoy the things that I had to do and needed to do to keep going down that path. Most of all, I created a situation where I felt like I lost my ability to say no to things I wasn't excited to do. Often, in the beginning of our businesses, we feel like we have to say yes to every job and client to get our businesses going. As I grew and had payroll and rent and other obligations, I created a situation where I couldn't say no to jobs and clients, and ended up doing work that was unfulfilling and eventually drove the decision to downsize. Saying no is such an important habit. Hell Yeah or No is a book by Derek Sivers that you can check out that goes really deep on this idea. And I've been using the if it isn't a hell yeah, then no for a while. Being able to say no is so powerful for entrepreneurs and creators. It gives us the ability to specialize and focus on our highest paying or most profitable or most fulfilling work. It gives us the ability to say no to things that don't fit our ideal lifestyle, like evening and weekend work. It also gives us the ability to protect our values by only working with clients or brands that align with us personally. If you're the kind of person that has trouble saying no, start small. Maybe say no to a meeting that you don't think is valuable, or maybe just a piece of a job that you know you don't want to do, and work up from there. Remember, every time you say no to something lower value, you're increasing the amount of time you can spend on activities that make you more money. Habit number 2, make your work hours productive. For many entrepreneurs and creators, we have the ability to work from home. Well, this is mostly a blessing. It becomes really easy to blur the lines between work life and home life. Back in 2019, I moved from my home office to a small studio and realized how poorly I'd been managing my work-home life balance working from home. I was either distracted by home projects and chores and kids, or leaving the dinner table to work on video edits all night way too often. Intentionally creating a work schedule that allows you to remain most productive at the times you need to be and protects your personal time to focus on relationships and yourself is one of the most underrated entrepreneurial habits. I found if I didn't set a solid work schedule and define what I was working on, I would often work 25 to 50% more hours, but actually accomplish less. The first step is identifying the work hours you are most productive. Now for me, those are the ones with the least amount of distractions, and that happens to be early in the morning. Now I've read a bunch of self-help and productivity books, and many of these books talk about waking up early, working out, cardio, eating breakfast, journaling, and so on. Are morning hours more valuable or productive or better than the other hours of the day? Why such a focus on morning? Well, I eventually converted to waking up early, and here's what I discovered. The morning hours are more valuable to me. I always have a reason to wake up, so I know there is something to do. There are so many fewer distractions. No one else is awake, no sports on TV. What I discovered is that if I stayed up late, even just to 11 p.m., even with stuff to do, I was worn out from the day and I just watched TV or scrolled on my phone. But if I intentionally went to bed at 9 p.m. and then woke up at 4:30 instead of 6:30, I was refreshed, and now those 2 extra hours are the most productive hours of my day. Why could waking up early be so beneficial for entrepreneurs and creators? We always have work to do. Anyone running their small business or working as a creator knows there's never enough time to get it all done. By replacing less productive nighttime with refreshing morning time, we're effectively adding hours to our days. Now, I know everyone is not a morning person, and your most productive time may fall somewhere else. But if you find yourself wasting hours before going to bed, this could be worth trying. Now, the other factor you can't skip is identifying what you're working on. Often we have many things that we need to get completed, and we spend time trying to move each along equally instead of solidly focusing on one thing. Now, in the book Make Time, Jake Knapp and John Zeratsky teach a strategy of using a daily highlight. Instead of a list of 10 things to do, you identify your highest priority task that can be completed within a few hours, and all of your focus goes there. I love this strategy, and I've been using it for the past year. For me, it eliminates the constant bouncing around between tasks and the feeling of putting in a full day's work, and at the end, you feel like you accomplished nothing. To summarize, 2 tips to make your work hours more productive. 1. Work during your most productive time. 2. Identify what you will accomplish before you start work. The more productive you are, the more you accomplish with your time, ultimately giving you more time to work on high income producing activities. Habit number 3, prioritize your health. Throughout my years of running my business, my weight has fluctuated well over 50 pounds. When talking to other entrepreneurs and creators, we have similar stories of weight gain, weight loss, and fluctuation. But why? Business owners approach work differently than employees. We are invested in, and many times we even identify by how our business is doing. We prioritize the work over our health, and here are just a few of the habits I picked up while prioritizing my business over my health. Skipping meals, grabbing fast food, overeating at meals because I skipped the previous, eating too late at night, stopped going to the gym, stopped walking, drank too many energy drinks, stopped all physical activity, went to bed too late, didn't get enough sleep. Now, any of these things on their own will affect how we feel. And when you start stacking them, this really throws your body off. So no matter how busy you are or how stressful your business is, you have to prioritize your health. There are 3 pillars to focus on while prioritizing your health: nutrition, exercise, and sleep. There is just so much advice out there about nutrition. It's overwhelming. So I try to keep it as simple as I can. Be aware of what you eat and what it contains. For me, I was tracking everything I ate for a long time. I had no idea how much sugar I was consuming, or sometimes eating meals that had more calories than I wanted to consume in an entire day. Simply cut out or replace the really bad stuff in your diet. For me, this was cutting out McDonald's breakfast and soda. Do this and reevaluate every so often. Exercise. Just do something on a regular basis. I lost over 40 pounds one time just walking every day. I walked 2 to 3 miles over 40 to 60 minutes during lunch break. I tried running, and at that point, I just kept getting hurt, so I just continued to walk. So figure out something that gets you some physical activity at least 3 times a week. Sleep. Now, we all have different sleep needs, and I think the best approach is to figure out your ideal amount of sleep. Try out some different time ranges and adjust. For me, 7 to 7.5 hours is really my sweet spot. Shorter than that, I end up sleeping in the afternoon. Longer than that, I have a really hard time getting going in the morning. Use your ideal time and figure out what time you want to get up, and back that into what time you need to go to bed. Now, my favorite tip for this is to set a go-to-bed alarm. When I became intentional about getting a good night's sleep, I would get distracted with basketball games or scrolling Instagram and end up missing bedtime. A go-to-bed alarm keeps you accountable to getting to bed at a time that will allow you to get a full night's sleep. If your body is not fueled and rested, you'll struggle physically and mentally to be productive and work at a high and efficient level. Saying no, making your work hours productive, and prioritizing your health are 3 habits that will help you as an entrepreneur increase your productivity and ultimately grow your income. What other habits can creators and entrepreneurs use to increase their income?